Hey guys, so this is the new bike that I picked up this week. It's a 2025 CFMOTO 450 MT. I've just clicked over 300 Ks on it. It's probably 50-50 on road and off road. Just spent the morning riding through the Talangi State Forest. So I'm just going to give you my initial impressions on the bike, some things I've done to it, and what I still need to do to it. Adventure bikes are a bit like that. You can just, the list never ends. But so far on the bike from the factory, I picked up the crash bars, the upper crash bars. Picked up the brake reservoir cover and the front caliper cover as well. Other than that, I've got the carper ride system at the top there, which is working really well. I haven't really found the best app to use on it yet for tracks, but I'm still sort of figuring that out. I'm bouncing around between a couple of them. I did spec for the high seat, but as I'm still learning the bike, I'm not very experienced off-road. I'm just using the low one for now. It gives me a bit more confidence in the rough stuff, so I can get my feet down easier. And I've gone for the high front guard straight away as well. But yeah, so far the bike, it's exceeded my expectations. I definitely went into this with a bit of bias, thinking I didn't want to buy a Chinese bike. I initially put a deposit on the Honda 300 Rally, but I just sort of looked at the spec sheet on these and I realised which was the smarter decision, I think, based on the specifications alone. Longevity is still yet to be seen, but I'll have confidence just based on the finish of this bike so far. I've got absolutely no complaints. It comes with a ton of features that you would pay extra for on a bunch of other bikes from the big four and the other adventure bikes as well. It's given me a ton of confidence off-road, and as someone who's ridden 95% of their riding career on-road, I didn't have a lot of confidence to begin with, so it's definitely helped pump that up. The other thing I've added is these stickers here, just to stop from scratching up the side fairings and the tank. So today was a big ride, my biggest ride so far. You could probably say it gave me a little bit too much confidence. As you can see there, I've snapped off that front handguard, which was inevitable because there's no alloy reinforcement. It's not like a true set of bark busters or anything. They're really only good for wind and I guess aesthetics. But that was on my list anyway to upgrade, but I guess I'll upgrade a bit quicker than I thought. I guess that could be a complaint, but to be fair, most bikes don't even come with them. They don't come with anything. So something's better than nothing until you can put on a proper set of bark busters. But yeah, the controls and everything so far on the bike, just super easy. Going into off-road mode, but I'm not going to go into all the specs. There's a million videos already out there that go through all the features and whatnot, but just be able to push that button when you're off-road is super handy. The flip-up mirrors as well, which is usually an extra option. You can see there's a couple of scuffs on it. They popped up beautifully today. Had a couple of offs today, just real low speed. I went up a hill I shouldn't have. Again, this is the confidence this bike gives you. But I went up this big hill, which I did go down originally, and I was hesitant about going up it, but I thought, just crack on with it, just give it a go. I'm sure it's not that bad, and yeah, it was tough. Just big boulders, big cricket ball sized boulders, and if you don't have a lot of off-road experience, or probably even if you do, it's very tricky to ride on. So just getting traction was difficult. I actually dropped the bike because I couldn't stop it rolling backwards. I had the brakes locked up, but because you're on these big boulders, you just roll down the hill with it. So that's all right. Unfortunate, but inevitable. I'm sort of relieved that the first scratches are out of the way now. But the crash bars did a good job. You can see a few little marks here and there where they caught it, but that's all just cosmetic. As you touch it, you just wipe it away, it almost completely disappears. They did a good job. That's the thing too with CFMOTO. I mean, parts are just comparatively so cheap compared to the other big brands. Upper crash bars, I think it was $110 I did spec out some ones when I thought I was going to get the Honda Rally, and you're looking $300-400 for a similar sort of thing. Actually, not even as good as those, a simpler design that wouldn't be as heavily reinforced. So, yeah, it's a great bike. I guess it's a great first adventure bike for those, depending on how adventurous you want to be. A lot of people have said this is, a baby adventure or whatever, or it's a good beginner's bike. I guess it is a good beginner's bike because it's easy to approach, but the potential for this bike is massive. I think people assume that just because you're on an adventure bike, you want to be on a BMW 1300 or you want to be on a big Africa Twin. That's not always the case, With these sorts of bikes, it's a sliding scale. The more on-road prowess they have, the less off-road. You can't do it both. So I think this bike really hits a sweet spot. I'm absolutely stoked with it. So I'm going to get back to riding now, but yeah, I'll report back as I do more things to the bike and maybe a few rides to go on. But so far, absolutely loving this bike. If you have any hesitation at all, which if you've gotten this far in the YouTube reviews and discussion about it, you've probably seen that people love this bike, absolutely rave about it. So I'll just suggest anyone who's hesitant, just get on one, or at least go into the showroom and have a look at it before you start dismissing it entirely. There's a lot of fun here to be had for an affordable price in today's economy. That's a rare thing, I think. Oh, better get back to it. Cheers.